3, 2, 1. And we are live. Alright guys, welcome back to the live stream. I can't believe I'm saying this after over 2 months. Really, the last live stream was 2 months ago, and I was still in France back then. Since then, from France, we went to Germany with the whole family, had to leave our flat, had to move all of our stuff. It was insane. My whole car was packed to the brim. It was absolute craziness. I even had to send my wife and kid via train to Germany because otherwise I couldn't transport all of our stuff. So we brought it over to Germany, where it is stocked right now. From there on, we went to Macedonia and spent roughly 2 weeks over there. I'm still alive. Nobody attacked me randomly on the street. Many Bulgarian brothers told me that I'm crazy for going, and maybe that would have been the truth in the middle of the whole, call it what you will, right? 2 years ago when I made my video about the Macedonian question. However, this time around, nobody said anything. I had certain discussions with my family members, but I'm going to speak about this maybe in a separate video or simply later on the stream if there's interest about that subject. Anyhow, from there on, as you see now in the thumbnail, we made it finally to Thailand. Yes, this is absolutely insane, and I still can't believe that I'm here. I was in Bangkok 3 years ago. Yep, this is when I left, and this is yes chat when we met up with Vegetable Police, with Casey from the Vegetable Police. Good memories, but man, yes, this is 3 years ago. The whole Kurats thing happened, and I moved to Bulgaria, then later to Portugal and whatnot. So I spent 3 solid years in Europe. I can't believe that either, because when I left Europe 2014, I told myself that I'm never gonna come back. But be that as it may, I spent 3 years in Europe. I got married, my son got born, so big change. And now I'm back in Thailand. It's really amazing to see. Back in the day, Thailand was everything for me. So if you're new to the channel, you don't know that, but especially as a vegan, Thailand was everything for me. I was a fruitarian in Thailand, YouTubing in Thailand, eating all that durian in Thailand. But every little aspect about Thailand was so important to me. It was the people, it was the beaches, it was the food, as I said. Everything, the tuk-tuks, the music, just every little detail was so important and so amazing to me. But now, coming back here as a married man and as a father, I really have to say that my priorities have shifted so much, man, that I do appreciate this country, but at the same time, I'm not mind blown like I used to be. I have other stuff to take care of, a whole family now, and therefore it's nice to be here. It's a bit surreal to be back here, but at the same time, it's totally different. So perspective plays such a big role. Hence, I named my channel Bobbysperspective as well, of course. So yeah, that's roughly it. Now we are here in Thailand. I'm gonna spend some time for sure. We are not certain how long we're gonna stay here, if we're gonna stay longer, shorter. Thailand is a bit tricky when it comes down to the visa situation, unfortunately. But we're gonna see what we're gonna do. My son survived the flight as well. It was a 14-hour flight from Germany. We had a little stop in Phuket and then got over to Bangkok. Everything went well, thank God. And yeah, that's roughly the wrap-up, guys. So stay tuned. Pretty soon, God willing, I should make more videos about Thailand as well, if there is an interest for that. And possibly I'm gonna make a separate channel for that too. Maybe a vlogging channel or something on those lines to show you the Thai life that I'm living around here. Because on my main channel, as you can see, it is basically all religion at the moment. So it might be that I split that up. We will see how that works. On top of that, hopefully many collaborations soon, workouts as well, etc, etc. So it should be a very exciting time. I'm definitely not planning on going back to Europe over winter, that is for sure, but we will see. If I learned anything in life, it is to not plan at all, because it always comes differently, that is for sure. Alright guys, that's basically it. So now let me check the chat. This is absolutely amazing, man. I'm really excited to be back. I'm really happy to connect to all of you guys, and again, God willing, I will try to stream at least once per week, but who knows, maybe I can make it twice per week as well once I have my setup. So this here in the background is obviously not my main setup. You can see a little plastic flower over there, and this here in the back is actually my bed on which I'm sitting right now. Yes, I'm sitting on my bed right now because I still don't have my office. But nevertheless, it works, right? Pretty soon, again, God willing, hopefully, we'll have the green screen back, etc., etc. Even though the green screen sucked big time. After 1 year, we didn't fix the green screen settings, so maybe this is actually even better, who knows? Dobrin Mladenov says, from Portugal to France to Macedonia to Germany. Bro, from France to Germany to Macedonia, back to Germany, and now in Thailand. And my little one survived it. He's 1 year and 4 months right now. So it was tough for him, but to be honest, he took it like a champ. Okay. You should come to Malaysia. Yeah, absolutely, man. I've been in Malaysia before, and this time, yet again, with a different perspective, of course, on Islam. Should be extremely interesting to see. Anyways, guys, we had some offline donations. Let me just read them out first. As always, if you want your question read out and you want to support the channel at the same time, Streamlabs donations is the way to go. You can see the link just in the chat box on top. I pinned it. You can just click on it and donate as little as $1. I always say it, if everybody would donate $1, I wouldn't have to worry about the demonetization going on here on YouTube. Always remember, this channel, yes, gets constantly demonetized, constantly shadow banned, etc., etc., you name it. So this channel lives through your support. This is not an exaggeration, that's in fact. Without you, I cannot do this. So please support this channel if you can. And like this, I can read out your questions. Okay, that being said, let me just head to the super chat box over here. Man, it feels good to be back, really. In both regards. Feels good to stream again and feels good to be back in Thailand. My OG viewers over here, OG supporters, I'm sure you do understand the energy and you feel the energy, because it is a very, very similar energy to way, way back when a Bobbysperspective just started and then went over from veganism to ex-veganism, then to anti-veganism. All of that happened in Thailand, so I'm sure you appreciate the energy. I surely do. Okay, now, the last super chat. First, let me see this here. Barry Kassab donated $10. Thank you so much, Barry Kassab. Let me give you an applause. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Barry Kassab says, your relentless seeking of the truth is inspiring, and you deserve all the support for your courage and the morals you stand for. God bless, and may God guide you to his way. Thank you so much, Barry Kassab. I'm trying to formulate this without sounding superficial or pretentious or hypocritical even, because I think you cannot really talk about this. In the end, you have to let your actions speak. But I can say that for me personally, the seeking of truth is the most important part of my life, basically. So when I was a very little child, I started to ask questions. And that is, of course, normal. I'm not special here. Every child starts asking questions. However, for me, it never ended. I just kept on asking. And not to provoke my parents or anything. What is water? Water is wet. Why is it wet? Not to provoke my parents, but I genuinely wanted to understand everything around me. I was extremely curious. My mother would always say, you're so curious, you're going to burn yourself. And in my life, I truly experienced so many different things. I tried so many different things, man. Be it partying, drugs, bodybuilding, you name it. I went through extremes, hardcore extremes, and I can talk about that in depth in coming videos or live streams, we'll see. The point of the story is, I'm pretty lucky, man, with all that I've done in my life, that I'm still healthy and still have some brain cells left. I can say I'm very, very blessed and very, very glad that it happened this way. So point of the story is that my curiosity always kept me going in life, and I believe that this will never stop. If that would stop, my life would stop, basically. If I couldn't seek truth, my life would just end, essentially. So of course that can come in the way. It can stand in the way in finding truth as well, because you can always seek the next best thing. So there we have to be very, very cautious and careful, but nevertheless, my curiosity is always there, and the most important thing for me, as I said, is to find truth. I cannot live any other way. So when I was 16 years old and I got into bodybuilding, I thought that I found the ultimate truth. And of course that's not the ultimate truth, but at the same time I found a truth of manipulating the body into a certain look, into a certain strength goal. And to have that skill, to understand that reality, to understand the truth of that reality was so extremely fulfilling to me personally. And since then I've been seeking, so be it in terms of sport, be it in terms of nutrition, be it in terms of religion, metaphysics, spirituality and whatnot, I always needed to understand it and needed to know. And this is why I called my channel as well Bobby's Perspective, because I didn't want to limit it to one thing. I simply wanted to share my perspective in the pursuit of truth. That's basically it. Anyways, thank you very much again, America Sub. Now, thank you so much, Javid. Good to see you, brother. Always awesome to see everybody back here at the live stream. Oftentimes I'm thinking to myself, man, if I don't stream for a week or 2 or 3, will people come back? And now I've been gone for 2 months and people come back. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But first, the offline donations, and then I'm going to come to your donation. Thank you so much, Javid. Danimal donated $5. Thank you so much, Danimal. A comparison between Islamic and Christian end times prophecies would be interesting, brother. Thank you so much, and this is what I'm planning on. So I'm always having projects that I'm planning on, and then I travel around and whatnot. But once I finally settle here, slowly but surely, I want to make this video, as I said previously, I want to make a video that compares the Christian and the Islamic end times to each other. So thank you very much, Danimal. God willing, coming soon. Pugman, thank you so much, brother, for the $20, the biggest donation so far. Pugman is the biggest supporter of the stream, the best friend of Bobby's Perspective. Have you been to Malaysia? Thank you so much. I have to tone down. This sounds a bit loud, man. Okay, here we go. So first, Pugman, have you been to Malaysia, Israel, Switzerland? So first, to Malaysia, yes. Israel and Switzerland, no. And that's what I find always so funny, because Switzerland is around the corner, right? I lived in Germany, so it wouldn't have been hard. And when I was in Australia, I realized that I could have traveled so much through Europe. But then when I came back to Europe, I explored a few more countries, but ultimately not enough. Technically, living in Europe, man, you could take a flight and be in another country every single weekend. But at the same time, my excuse here, the last 2 years were so hectic when it comes down to flying, so I wasn't willing to fly anyways. And hence, no, in Europe I haven't visited too many countries, and no, I haven't been to Switzerland, neither in Israel, but I would like to visit both of them for sure. I would love to check it out. In Malaysia, I have been there. There should be still a video on my channel if I haven't deleted it or blocked it, I'm not sure. It's when I am still a vegan, actually a raw vegan, and I am in Malaysia. Missed out on so much good food. But yes, I was in Malaysia, and over there I had durian. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. As I was saying, so yes, in Malaysia I had all the durian in the world. At least I could focus on durian as a raw vegan fruitarian. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. The country was amazing, especially Penang Hill. One of my favorite spots in the world. So, Pugman, if you're planning to go to Malaysia, I can only recommend it. And let me know, man. Maybe we can meet up over there. I would love to show you around and show you the durian if you're into that stuff, because people hate it and some people love it. I happen to be one that loves durian more than anything. It's absolutely amazing. I love durian. All right, thank you so much. Now, the newer donations. First, let me give you an applause again. Everybody, thank you so much. Man, it's amazing to be back. I really, really love this. Javid donated $10. Thank you so much, Javid. Veggie Cop in Thailand, part 2. Back to bodybuilder land. Yes, I'm back in bodybuilder land, and hence the attraction is there to do some bodybuilding. But I said that last year as well, and I stuck more with jiu-jitsu than anything else. Over here, I'm gonna train jiu-jitsu as well, God willing. But yes, I have that itch. I would love to do some bodybuilding. It is fun. It is a lifestyle. I really, really appreciate the lifestyle so much. Counting macros even, and everything that comes with it. People find that to be a chore. People find it to be just boring. But I love it. I really love to be in control about things. Because ultimately, if you really think about it, in life you're not in control. And ultimately you will never be in control about anything. But nevertheless, thank you so much. But nevertheless, the point is, of course, that it gives you the feeling of being in control. And in a way, you are in control over your body, right? To an extent. Again, back in the day when I found out about bodybuilding, I thought I'm in total control. I control my destiny. I was 100% convinced. I was still in my early 20s. But now, as a 30-year-old, 35-year-old, matter of fact, I see it differently, of course. I see it from a spiritual perspective, if you will. And I see that we are not in control at all. But nevertheless, let me not rant too much about that. The point is that I always enjoyed the feeling of being in control, feeling essentially just ready when it comes down to your day. Because you get up in the morning and you know exactly what you're going to eat, what you're going to consume, what you're going to spend even. You know exactly when you're going to train. You know exactly when you will have those meals, when you're going to go to bed. So this rigorous routine, again, for people sounds just boring. Why would you live life like that? But I lived life on the opposite spectrum as well. And therefore I always love coming back to that routine and to that very, very precise way of living that gives you instant results as well. So it's just such a way of winning consistently. I really appreciate bodybuilding, as you can hear. So yeah, God willing, who knows? Maybe here in Thailand we will get into it. That being said, guys, I haven't been to the gym for 2 months as well. I haven't streamed, haven't been to the gym. And I got sick twice in those 2 months. Yes, I got the kurats. It's confirmed. And I almost died, basically. So I was in my bed with 40 degrees fever twice in those 2 months. And especially the last time, it was when we returned from Macedonia, I was convinced that I'm gonna die. It was insanity. I was just sweating. My whole bed was flooded. It was as if I take a shower every single minute, essentially, of the day. It was craziness, man. Shivering, shaking, and I felt like tripping. Obviously, because I had 40 degrees Celsius fever for, I think it was 4 days straight or something on those lines. And after those 4 days, I was basically hallucinating. So it was absolutely terrible. Thank you so much again. I'm going to read it out in a second. Yeah, it was absolutely terrible. I definitely underestimated it. But thank God I'm a triple jabbed, right? So yeah, therefore I survived it. Otherwise I would have been dead for sure. It was really, really tough. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I haven't trained. And during that time, I think I lost 15 kilograms or so. So I'm pretty skinny fat at the moment. I'm definitely looking forward to hit the gym, one way or the other. All right, thank you so much, Javid, yet again. I really appreciate it, brother. And one more thing about the Veggie Cop in Thailand, part 2. Man, this guy doesn't talk to me. So, as I said, I shot him a text. I'm not a guy that runs after people, so I just shot him one text. And he didn't respond. So, up to him to respond. I'm pretty sure people told him as well. And he's, of course, in Canada. Yet again, I'm not a bitch here. It's all good, man. If he reaches out to me, I would, of course, hang out with Casey again. Absolutely no hard feelings. It's the internet after all. So if he makes it to Thailand at some point, absolutely, man, let's hang out. Okay, that being said, we have another donation by Javid yet again. Thank you so much. Actually, all the upcoming donations are by Javid. Thank you so much, Javid. Guys, help Javid out and support the channel as well. Otherwise, I'm just going to have a dialogue with Javid here. So if you want this stream to be a bit more interactive, please donate and I will be able to read out your questions as well, of course. Okay, here we go. So, Javid, Bobby's perspective on carnivore snacks and carnivore crisps. They are delish. Yeah, absolutely, man. I have my shelf here. I took my carnivore snacks with me as well from Grassland Nutrition. Absolutely glad for those guys. Man, something bad happened when I was in France. They sent me a whole box of carnivore snacks, liver powder, etc., etc. Yes, that is the perk of advertising for Grassland Nutrition. But that being said, guys, I'm doing it because I use their products. That's basically it. I trust their products. The products are grass-fed, organic, and halal on that note as well. So it's the perfect product, absolutely healthy and absolutely practical for me personally, especially when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling around, guys, it's very, very hard to find a butcher that I trust right away. How would I, right? So when it comes down to organ meat, to have that quality always with me in powder or in capsule form, it's fantastic. It's the best. So, yes, Grassland Nutrition, carnivore snacks. I have them with me in the shelf here. Thank God for that. Another thing that I'm using here in Bangkok, not sponsored, even though I would like to be. But at the same time, I don't think that I would be able to pull enough revenue for those guys because I don't think I have many viewers in Bangkok. And they only deliver in Bangkok. But anyways, for what it's worth, they're called Paleo Robbie. Not Bobby, but Robbie. And they deliver grass-fed beef from New Zealand and Australia, but from Thailand as well. So it's a bit like Butcher Box. Really amazing. And I ordered some grass-fed meat here as well. They just bring it to you with a scooter. It's fantastic, man. It's really, really big lifestyle improvement here in Thailand, I have to say. All right, next one. Again by Javid, $21. Bro, thank you so much for the biggest donation tonight. I appreciate it. Have you been to Kiev, Ukraine? No, I've never been to Ukraine. I've never been to Russia either, and I really, really want to go. But Kiev, Ukraine, no, I only know it from the news, basically. Which is kind of funny. I don't want to talk crap about the people, but I'm really wondering, if you are from Kiev, right, and you have to flee that city, why wouldn't you just go to another city in the Ukraine? Why do you have to go to Germany or Poland? Why do you have to become a refugee? Because other than that, Ukraine is still intact, right? I'm just speaking out of experience because in Macedonia, when we had the war in Tetovo, many of my family members that are from Tetovo, they simply moved to Skopje. They didn't become refugees to Germany. So, yeah, there's a little side tangent over here. Ruba Nashabe donated 20 Australian dollars via Super Chat. Thank you so much. And we have a lot of little Dragon Balls, it seems. Thank you so much for the Dragon Balls. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And a high five. Thank you very much, Ruba, for the generous donation. Javid donated $2 again and says Bobby's spiritual perspective. Yes, absolutely. Sometimes. Thank you so much, Javid. I really appreciate all of your super chats over here and good to see you again, especially at this timing. Guys, this is all I could do for now because I know in Europe right now it is 4 p.m. I usually stream roughly 2 hours later, but around here it's 9 p.m. already. So that's why I don't want to do it too late. So if I stream from now 1.5 more hours or so, that's going to be already pretty late over here. And that's why I have to do the live streams a bit earlier, being in Thailand at the moment. So I hope this works out. I've seen that I have a huge viewer base in Malaysia at the moment. So for those people, it will be surely perfect. Thank you again, Javid. I appreciate it, bro. But even for the European crowd, it is a Sunday after all. So I think this is not too bad. Javid donated again $2. Thank you so much, bro. No, sorry, I mean there is a company with the name Carnivore Snacks and another company called Carnivore Crisps. I didn't know that. I recommend the products. It's delish. Sounds good, man, because the Carnivore Snacks is something that you have in Grassland Nutrition as well. That's why I thought you're talking about this, and this is what I use. I love it. But I imagine that's pretty much the same, right? Carnivore Snacks, if it is really a carnivore snack, then it must be at least 99% meat. So, thank you very much. So that's what Grassland Nutrition is as well. Actually, Grassland Nutrition is 100% meat and nothing else. You don't have any additives. It's simply freeze-dried. Never Defined donated 11 NOK through Super Chat. Thank you so much, Never Defined. And there is no question attached. Thank you anyways. As I always say, guys, if you choose to support this channel, thank you so much. You do it via Super Chat or Streamlabs. Streamlabs is preferred, of course. And like that, you can attach a question and I can read it out. It is impossible for me, as you can see right now, to go through the chat and respond to random chats. This is why, like this, I can answer your question and at the same time you can support this channel. So it's a win-win situation. Thank you very much for that. But yes, I'm trying to respond to the chat as well, here and there, of course. But it is impossible for me to respond to all of the questions. It simply doesn't work. And as I said previously, even $1 already works for Super Chats or Streamlabs donations. I think anybody can spare some change here for e-bagger Bobby. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Oh, one more thing, if we're talking already about money here, I have to get that off my chest. It's quite amazing lately, and I think that's just the name of the game. Thank you again, Javid. Guys, as I said, if you only let Javid support here, it's going to be a dialogue between me and Javid, and you're simply going to be silent observers. So if you want, again, to participate within this live stream, support via Super Chat or Streamlabs, and like this I can answer your questions as well. Otherwise, I'm just talking to Javid over here, which I personally don't mind. Javid has interesting questions, and Javid has been an ongoing supporter of Bobby's Perspective. Alright, as I was saying about the money situation. Very, very interesting, man. And I think it's just the name of the game, and it comes with a trade, it's obvious. So lately, thank God, this channel has been doing quite well. The views are going up. Even though, I said it previously, religious videos, not only do they get demonetized or copyright striked by Salam Network. Thank you very much, Salam Network. No, but moreover, the issue is, of course, that for religious videos, the ad revenue, if there is any, is way, way lower than, for example, business videos, right? So I actually checked, and this is amazing. I would love this to be the case, but it's not. If I would make different content, for example, business videos, maybe lifestyle videos to an extent, but predominantly business-related videos, financial videos, Bitcoin and whatnot, I would be making, with those views that I'm having right now, I would be making, what do you think? I would be making $500,000 per year. That would be my income. With the same views that I'm having here on YouTube. I double checked the statistics. It's accurate. It's no joke. So with the views that I'm getting here, if I wouldn't be shadow banned and copyright striked and whatnot, and I would have to make other content, as I said, because religious content is pretty much the content that pays the least, then I would get $500,000 per year. That's crazy, no? It's quite wild. But anyways, that's not the topic either. I'm going on a side tangent here. Thank you so much. I'm going to read out in a second. I appreciate it. Anyways, that being said, guys, since I make better views, since I generate better views lately, thank you again, Javid. Gonna read it out in a second. So, since I generate better views, people really say, oh, you just do this for views. It's just for views after all. So, guys, when we're talking about the Islamic videos, first and foremost, I said it from the get-go. I would watch those videos in my spare time anyways. So now, if you want me to react to them, then we can watch them together. No worries, right? If you want to. So, the responses were amazing. People really wanted to watch me react to those videos. Fantastic. I'm happy about it. Why not? I'm gonna watch them anyways, so might as well have, yet again, a win-win situation. Let's watch them together. So I started watching them with people, and turns out more and more people want to watch old Bobby over here react to Islamic videos. Cool, amazing, so let's do it. I kept on going with it, and now, as I said, now you have the people, the haters, telling me, oh, you just do it for clicks. Don't let me repeat yet again that I would watch those videos anyways for my own education, but moreover, guess what? I'm doing YouTube. So as a YouTuber, yes, you want people to actually watch your videos. Can you believe this? So people watching your videos equates to clicks. So a YouTuber wanting people to watch their videos is of course very, very shocking and mind-blowing. It's almost as if I would open up a shop and I would really want... Thank you so much, guys. So it's almost as if I would open up a shop and I would like customers to buy in my shop, right? How crazy, crazy idea. And then people would say, oh, thank you again, gonna read out in a second. And then people would say, oh, you just want people to buy in your shop. Evil. What kind of insane perspective is this? How insane is this, really? I'm really wondering how people's mind work. So that means I would have to make videos and make the thumbnail extremely unappealing and possibly not even give those videos a name, so less people watch the videos. That would be great, right? So nobody watches the videos ultimately. Maybe I should set them on private and nobody can watch them anymore. And then people would be happy, right? It makes absolutely no sense at all. So my point of the story is people that claim I do it only for clicks. Oh, now you do it only for the clicks. I'm extremely happy. Thank God, yes, that people watch the videos. Of course, man. I'm working every single day for YouTube. Do you understand this? I wake up in the morning, I'm recording videos, then I have to edit videos. Editing videos takes a ton of time. And then I'm trying to upload every single day. Do you understand that this is basically a full-time job? And then people watch your videos. Boo-hoo. Please don't watch them. Absolutely unbelievable. So on that note, kindly, if you have this mind state, just leave this channel. You don't have to watch my videos. Absolutely unbelievable. Anyways, alright, back to the Super Chats and Streamlabs donations. Thank you so much. And guys, I'm getting kind of thirsty here. I didn't grab any water. I don't want to scream because my son is already sleeping. Otherwise, I would just ask my wife. Let's try if she can hear me. Babe! Nah, I can't scream too loud. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab a bottle of water and I'm gonna be right back with you. And we are back again. Sorry for the delay, guys. I had to grab some water over here. And apparently my wife couldn't hear me. Sure. Okay, now we had some more super chats. Thank you so much, guys, for all the generous donations. I truly, truly appreciate it. From the bottom of my heart, it feels amazing to be back in Thailand and here live streaming. I feel rejuvenated. I feel 3 years younger again, catapulted back in time. It's absolutely fantastic, really, man. In those 3 years, so much happened. Absolutely insane. But now we're back here. Okay, let me see the Super Chats and Streamlabs donations. Here we go by Never Defined, 22 NOK. First, another donation by Javid, of course. Thank you so much, Javid, yet again, for the dollar. Kiev seems to be the safer area in Ukraine, according to this MCell clinic I've been in contact with over there, and filmmaker Eric Merola. I have absolutely no clue, man. As far as I know, the conflict was in Kiev, and therefore I was just making the statement that if Kiev is the affected area, why not just leave to another city? Because I'm pretty confident that there are cities within Ukraine that are totally fine. And Ukraine is a bit bigger than Macedonia, northern Macedonia. And when there was the conflict, the civil war in Tetovo, as I said, people just fled to Skopje and they didn't have to leave the country. Anyways, thank you very much again, Javid. Now let's get to Never Defined. 22 NOK, thank you so much. Compassion, of course. Thank you so much. And he asks, or she asks, why are you in Thailand? Yeah, good question, honestly. 3 years ago, I lived in Thailand. I actually even worked in Thailand. And in total, I believe I spent something over 2 years in Thailand, on and off. 2014, I went to Australia. I left Europe and I found a much, much better life in Australia. I really loved Australia, and to this very day I would still live in Australia. I really appreciated it over there. It basically had a lot good aspects of different countries within one country. Fantastic beaches, tropical weather, at the same time European standard, nice people, very, very kind. So it was a very, very good mixture. I loved it. But at the same time, I didn't find my final destination, so to speak. Because when I left from Germany, I was seeking essentially this paradise on earth. It might sound very strange, but when I was in Germany, I was so sick. And this is a long, long story. I'm not going to get into the whole thing now, but I was so sick and I healed myself through magic mushrooms. And in that healing period, I had a vision of me being in a tropical paradise. Thank you so much, Javid, yet again. I had this vision of this tropical paradise where I had to go. That was my vision. I had to go there in order to heal my body. The reason why I got sick, I thought, was because I lived in this absolutely industrial city in Germany. And under those circumstances, I found I couldn't get healthy. So I would have to seek a tropical paradise. So my first idea was to go to Australia because I could get a working holiday visa. I was still in my 20s. So I went over to Australia, and as I said, what I found was absolutely amazing, but it wasn't the fulfillment quite yet. From Australia, I went over to Bali, and Bali was much more to my liking, man. I absolutely loved the freedom over there. I loved the people, the food, the tropics in general. It was amazing. But from Bali, I made it over to Thailand, and what I found in Thailand back then was that paradise. It was perfection for me, as I said. Like being in Thailand, everything made sense to me. But now, to get a bit more into the spiritual understanding of it, I worshipped Thailand back then. It's no joke. And you can ask my wife, she knows. I was addicted to Thailand. Every aspect of Thailand was so amazing to me that I never wanted to leave. And I made it my god. I talked about this in previous videos, that no matter what you worship, consciously or subconsciously, becomes your god. And Thailand really became my god 3 years ago. It was absolutely insane. And once I left and I got to Europe, I started seeking God more and more and more. And in Bulgaria, within the context of Orthodoxy, I found back to God. When I did that, I had one leg, so to speak, in religion, but one leg was still left in Thailand. And I was consistently just fantasizing and thinking about that paradise lost, so to speak. And it so happens that last year, when I became a father, basically, and before that got married, I simply lost the appeal for Thailand. And I just said, okay, this is it. This is in the past now. I'm going to live in Europe. I'm going to live in France. I really don't care for it anymore. I don't need it. But this is when my wife started talking about Thailand again. That's classical woman, always the absolute opposite of one, right? But yeah, she started talking about it. And then my friends started talking about it. Very good friends that I haven't seen in a long time. One of my extremely good friends I've seen the last time in Thailand, and that is 5 years ago. And so the people started talking, my friends started talking, hey, let's meet up again, let's see each other again for the sake of old times, etc., etc. And so by God's grace, somehow, all of this really worked out, and I'm back in Thailand. But as I said in the beginning of the stream, this time around, it is from a totally different perspective. I'm walking through the streets, and yes, it's nice, I like it, it's the good life here. But at the same time, I'm not obsessed with it at all. I could be anywhere, to be totally honest, and be just as happy. But at the same time, I truly appreciate it here. But what I appreciate really, really about Thailand is that my little son is the absolute superstar. I would have to take a camera with me and show it to you guys. And I don't even know if it would work out then if I have the camera on. But I get stopped every 2 minutes by all kinds of people, be it young Thai women or be it old grand ladies here or whatever, grandmas. Everybody's stopping me and they all want to play with him and they all want to hold him and they all want to hug him and they all want a picture with him. He is very cute, I have to say. But it's insane. Yesterday we went to SeaWorld. Yes, vegans, we went to SeaWorld and I watched those fish being abused in the aquarium. And it was crazy. My son, he's what you would call a pea magnet. He fell in love with a Thai girl and he didn't want to leave. So he just spent time with this Thai girl just sitting there on a little bench. He left me completely and hugging her and just showing her around. Oh, look, the shark. He can't talk, but he was, oh, look. So he was just showing her around and they had a little date going on over there. Really, really cute. And when I tried to get him away, he started crying. And yeah, he wanted to spend more time with her rather than old boring daddy over here. Anyways, I went on a side tangent as always. Point of the story is essentially it all came together so that I can see plenty of old friends yet again here in Thailand. And moreover, it just so lined up that the mind state shifted for me and my wife and that we all decided to spend some time in the tropics again, to just get back to what we left 3 years ago. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Another super chat by Javid. Thank you again, bro. Are you still working on your carnivore movie? I remember hearing about it in the past videos, but you stopped posting the link underneath your current videos. Yeah, that is a thing that happened essentially exactly before the Kurats, right? So we're planning on not making a carnivore video. It wasn't a carnivore video in that sense. It was more a video that should have explained how animals die within the planned production. That was the whole point. And so I was starting to get a team together and this and that. And yeah, that was very, very tough to do. Much, much harder than I would have thought. Many people jumped off board and they didn't want to keep on going. Be that as it may, essentially what happened, again, the Kurats and Australia became a no-go zone. I think now you should be able to travel again. But essentially, yeah, the project is in shambles. By the way, all of the donations that have been made to the, what's it called again, GoFundMe, They're still on the GoFundMe. I haven't touched them, right? So just to clarify this, I haven't touched that money. I haven't taken any money out of there. And I'm going to double check if I can refund the people. I'm not too sure if that works at all. And if not, I'm going to take that money and donate it. So maybe we can make like a charity donation poll, and you guys can decide where I should donate it to. I haven't touched that money. I don't want that money at all. And if I can refund, then I would refund you guys, because I don't think we will be able to make that movie anymore. So 2 years have passed since then. People just ditched the project, essentially. And yeah, that's the status at the moment. So as I was saying, the money is still on there. It's not that much in total. I think it's like $1,000 or so. We would have needed way, way more in the end. I think at least, I'm going to make up a wrong number here, but probably 6,000 or something on those lines to actually have it look somewhat professional. I was even in touch with, what's his name again? Man, it's so long ago I can't even think about it. Food Lies. Exactly, Food Lies. He has this logo, looks a little bit like Stranger Things. He wanted to come on board. Then he did this Game Changers rebuttal with Sean Baker. Didn't look good, didn't look professional either. I know that was just a quick little project, but nevertheless. And yeah, in the end it failed. That's basically what it is. It failed. It's on hold, if you will. But at the same time, I don't believe that we will get back to it. I would have to gather all the people and then again ask people to donate, because that wasn't sufficient. Thank you so much. Gonna read out in a second. So that's basically where we're at right now. The money is frozen on the GoFundMe thing. So yeah, I'm gonna check if I can refund and let it be. If not, then I'm going to donate the money and that's it. And you guys can choose a donation, I would say. That's basically it. Thank you so much for the donation again, Javid. Let me take a sip here, guys. Check this out. For people that know, they know. Singa, but filled with water. I'm not drinking beer. Pink Supremacy, good to see you, man. Pink Supremacy is a moderator here, and this is why I see his question. I'm gonna read out his question first, and then I'm gonna get back to the super chats, guys, because Pink Supremacy has been an ongoing supporter for a long, long time. He asks, why are you guys converting to Islam or being Muslims in a secular Western country? If you want to practice Islam and love it, why don't you move to an Islamic country? So I would say this is a question that from one perspective you could say, yeah, well, that's legitimate, but at the same time, if you look deeper into it, it's actually not legitimate at all. So why? I'm going to tell you. This was my same perspective back in the day. Back in the day, I was very secular. So religion, even though I believed in God, wasn't really that important. I mean, I was still extremely young, and obviously, therefore, because I was so young, religion itself wasn't explored to begin with, and secondly, I was actually very, very happy with the liberal lifestyle without even knowing that it was liberalism that I was following. So I think that many youths fall into that trap of essentially following liberalism without even knowing that they're liberals, because they believe I'm just not into politics. But yeah, well, indirectly, yes, you are. You are into liberalism, and ultimately that stands against religion, stands for secularization, etc., etc. Thank you so much. I'm going to read out in a second. Yeah, so as I was saying, ultimately we grow up in this secularized society, but you have to keep in mind that liberal societies, pink supremacy, those liberal societies, those secularized societies, they do have freedom of religion. That's basically it. So you see many white nationalists, for example, and they will claim Islam doesn't belong to Europe, even though there is a big history about Islam in Europe. But nevertheless, they will say Islam doesn't belong to Europe, out of here, it doesn't belong in our societies. Fine, but the issue here is your ideology, liberalism itself, is already allowing religion and religious expression in all its shapes and forms. So therefore, out of the Islamic perspective, if you can practice Islam without being convicted, without being essentially not able to practice, you can stay in that country and you can adhere to the law of the land, right? If you can practice Islam in that country, there is no reason for you to leave. Thank you so much. So that is one aspect of it, right? Another aspect is, of course, that many people, they are born in those countries. This is where their friends are, this is where their families are. And it so happens that they are Muslim. But you asked about the converts as well. So this is even more contradictory, because think about it. If there is a German... Thank you so much for your ongoing support, guys. Fantastic, fantastic. I love it. Thank you. If you think about a German, for example, because we have German converts, right? So a German that has been born in Germany, has German parents, German cousins, German uncles and whatnot, right? Went to school in Germany, he's a German. But now he decides to become a Muslim, right? Too many people have the view of Islam from a cultural context, and I was the same, so I cannot point the finger. I had the same. So you look at Islam and you think just about culture, but you're not taking into consideration that Islam encompasses many, many nationalities, right? We might have certain nationalities that are Muslim within our Western countries, but at the same time, Islam is not for one nationality, even if we think about it culturally. So we might think Arab or Turk. The biggest Muslim population is in Indonesia. You have Malaysian Muslims, right? You have Russian Muslims. You have Albanian Muslims. You have Bosnian Muslims. A Bosnian is ethnically nothing different than me, right? If you think about it logically, man. Serbians and Bosnians are the same people. I know that this is something that people don't want to hear, of course, especially not after such incidences like the Srebrenica massacre. But the point of the story is that ethnically, Serbians and Bosnians, come on, are the same people. But of course with different histories and with different viewpoints and with different religions. But nevertheless, they are Southern Slavs from the Balkans, former Yugoslavs, right? That's what they are. And therefore my point of the story is that if we think about Islam in a cultural context, and now we think, oh, you have to leave Germany now, why would the German that has been born in Germany, works in Germany, but converts to Islam, now has to leave Germany? That of course doesn't make sense, right? And again, especially if you leave the bias of the cultural context aside and you just think about Islam theologically. Because if you think about Islam theologically, and no guys, I'm not going to give dawah here, and I'm not a Muslim, even though many Christians believe that, I am still a Christian. But nevertheless, learning about Islam and reading the Quran and seeing what it is in its essence, Islam translated... Islam translated means submission to God, and if you compare it, ultimately I have to admit that Islam is basically the most, if not the only, truly monotheistic religion. I really have to say that, because if you look at Christianity, ultimately Christianity, the way that we know it nowadays, is Trinitarian. So you would have to wrap your head around that, and then still kind of think that you are essentially a monotheist, even though you believe in 3 persons, and you worship Mary as well, etc., etc. So ultimately, if you look at it just theologically, without going on a side tangent that could be interpreted as giving dawah here, you agree with the theology of Islam as a German. The monotheism appeals to you, so you become a Muslim, which is a believer, translated yet again, somebody that submits his will to God, and that is the religion that you want to follow. So out of that perspective, why would you ever have to leave your country in order to live in an Islamic country? Do you get it? Do you get my point there? There's really no reason for that. Aside from that, if you look into the history of Europe, for example, let's take Poland. This is something that I learned recently. Poland has close ties to Islam. How so? Way back, I don't know the year, there was some sort of conflict with the Tatars. So the Macedonians will love this, of course. Bobby speaking about Tatars. Yes, I am a Tatar after all. No, the real Tatars, they got into some sort of conflict, into some sort of war, and they had to escape. their homelands, and so they were seeking refuge. And they found refuge within Europe, within Poland. And the Polish king, I forgot his name, the Polish king took them in, built villages for those Tatars within Poland, and even mosques. There are mosques built specifically for those Tatars in Poland, and the Tatars fought with the Polish. I have to look it up again, so this is not a history lesson, guys, sorry for that, but nevertheless, the Tatars fought hand in hand with the Poles, with the Polacks, against their enemy, so Christians and Muslims together. You can find many, many instances like this. Even in Germany, in Berlin, mosques have been built way, way back as an appreciation for the Osmanic Empire, believe it or not. Crazy things for Westerners, for the Western mind nowadays. They can't imagine that this is true. But if you really do the history, the research, the lesson on Europe and Islam, you will see that there is such a huge history aside from the Ottomans just conquering Europe. There's such an intertwined history, it's absolutely breathtaking if you really look into it and give it a chance. But anyways, again, the whole point is, if you're born in a certain country and you call that country home, and the country is liberal as it is anyways, and lets you practice your religion, why would you have to leave? It doesn't make any sense. So if the Buddhist wants to run around with a yellow robe, nobody would blink an eye, they would all find it cute. But if the woman runs around with a hijab and the man has a beard, then people get kind of iffy about it, right? Why? Anyways, that's basically my answer. Pink supremacy. Let me know what you think. He says, I'm not a proponent of liberal Western societies necessarily. However, in Sweden we do have freedom of religion, but that also includes freedom from religion. Yeah, but that's the point, right? So you do have freedom of religion, and I understand that you might not be for liberal societies. My point is simply that on the basis of a liberal society, that's what you get, right? So, for example, I can't name him here, Uncle Adi, HH, AH. Uncle Adi, back then, he came up with a completely new concept, right, of National Socialism for the Germans, even though he was a sympathizer with Islam as well, and he was kind of anti-Christianity. He actually thought that Christianity is a liability, and he would really love to see Germans that are Islamic, because that would make them into much better warriors. That was his idea. There are texts on that as well. But nevertheless, so under National Socialism, you have a completely different concept, and there you wouldn't have to tolerate other religions, and that's fine. You understand what I'm saying? So, but within liberalism, I say that then you would have to have some other solution for your government first, before you think about such things. So I understand that you have a lot of issues in Sweden, absolutely, and those people behaving like that, we have them in Germany as well, but I wouldn't just say, that's why because they're Muslims. No, that's because they're degenerates. Because the people that were behaving that way, gang life, prostitution, drugs, etc., what does that have to do with religion at all? For example, when I was partying, the people that would get absolutely... I don't want to swear here, but let's just say drunk beyond belief, those were all Christians, right? And they were getting into fights as well, and puking, they had sex outside of clubs, on top of their cars like animals. Their women would be extremely promiscuous, whoring around. Those were all Christians, right? But at the same time, they're not. You know what I mean? So they were born as Christians, but that doesn't make them Christians. And the same applies to all of those thugs, if you will, that are Muslims, but are not. That's what I had to learn as well. Anyways, last one, and then I have to get back to the super chats. I'm fully aware of your first point, Bobby. However, instead of forcing your own beliefs down other people's throats and wanting to change the culture you either migrated to or were born in, why no? Yet again, my point of the story is that if you are born as a German and you agree with the theology of Buddhism, Hinduism, or Islam in a liberal society, it is your choice to practice that religion. And now you're not forcing your beliefs down anybody by dressing according to that religion. So the Hare Krishnas, they're shaving their head and they have this little ponytail. right? The Buddhists run around with a yellow robe, now just for the sake of the argument. The Hindu has a turban, etc., etc. So if a German woman chooses to practice Islam in that liberal society and she chooses to wear a hijab, she's not forcing anything down anybody's throat, but she simply practices her religion. And that's her given right. That's how it is. That's what a liberal society is, man. Okay, anyways, back to the super chats, guys. Sorry for the hold up. Thank you so much, everybody that donated. Let me give you a applause first and foremost. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. By Agarthan Alchemy, $1, thank you. Hey Bobby, have you heard of the two German Dr. Gunther Lulling and Dr. Christoph Luxemburg, who claim that the Quran was originally in Syriac Aramaic, Nabatean Aramaic with Christian origins? No, I haven't heard about them. So right now, I'm actually, for the first time in my life, giving the Islamic side the chance, if you will, to present the evidence, right? Because, let's be honest, man, if you want to learn about Christianity, you go to Christians, right? So you don't go to an atheist, man. You don't go to Richard Dawkins to learn about Christianity, and he tells you about the invisible sky daddy. Invisible sky daddy. So, yeah, ultimately, you have to give those people that are representative of the religion a chance, right? And moreover, you have to give the book, the holy book, its fair shot as well. So at the moment, no, I'm doing what I haven't done before, and I'm actually learning Islam from Muslims. And again, I'm absolutely open to critiques as well. Why wouldn't I be? But at the same time, this is not my field of interest at the moment. I really want to see the perspective coming from Muslims, and then I can see what I might disagree with, or have questions about, am critical about, etc., etc. Thank you very much, Agarth and Alchemy, appreciate it. Pixel City Art donated $10. Thank you very much, Pixel City Art. Hi Bobby, nice to see you live again. It's currently 10 AM here in Canada. I'm sure you'll have entertaining vlogs in Thailand. I miss the Thailand, Bobby. Lol, cheers, bro. Yeah, thank you so much, bro. I miss the Thailand, Bobby. I really do. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to have some vlogs. The point of the story is, I actually just have my phone now and not a camera. But at the same time, I think my phone will be enough for some vlogs. It has a, I don't even know what, man, 60 million pixel camera. So I think it should be enough. At least I'm going to start out with the phone, and then I'm going to see if I need a camera. My camera broke, unfortunately, and it's shattered. So yeah, I would need a new camera. Maybe I'll get one. It's just so damn expensive, man. The point is, I bought that camera back in the day here for $600 or something on those lines. And then the lens shattered, right? So now the camera is old and the lens shattered. Thank you so much. And now the lens shattered, and the lens itself is like $300 or something ridiculous. So yeah, then I might as well get a new camera, because that camera is old as it is. Anyhow, as for right now, I think I should be able to vlog with my phone. The quality is alright. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it, and it's so amazing to see that I have people from way, way back here still that still watch my old butt. And yeah, coming back to Thailand. This should be very, very interesting. As I said, one of the reasons why I'm here is because my buddies that I haven't seen, some of them for over 5 years, are coming to Thailand as well in, God willing, 12 days. So in 12 days, we're going to have a little tour here in Thailand, and I'm going to definitely vlog many, many events coming soon. So yeah, anyways, I'm very, very happy and in my thoughts a bit when I'm thinking about it. Thank you very much, Pixel City Art, I appreciate it. And thank you so much for the ongoing support since way, way back, man. Agarth and Alchemy donated again. Thank you so much, $2. I don't personally subscribe to the idea, but I'm not closed off to it being possible. It's hard for me to find much on it. Most of the source material is in German. You may have better luck researching this. Okay, thank you very much. I heard about the theory that the Quran has been written in Syriac. I'm not too sure about that. Who really knows, man? So I think it's a rabbit hole that goes down way, way deeper than we all think at the moment. All I got, basically, as for right now, is reading the Quran, agreeing with it predominantly, and yeah, it resonated with me, ultimately. But at the same time, was it really preserved? Is it maybe altered, etc., etc.? All of those questions are legit, of course, because we ask those questions when it comes down to other scriptures too. But I would have to do much, much more research in order to know. Anyways, thank you very much. I'm going to write this down. I save all the questions here on Super Chats. It's actually in my little Streamlabs window, so I'm going to look it up. Thank you very much. Again, Agarthan Alchemy. Javid, thank you again, brother. I really appreciate it, man. He says, Goatus says, don't drink water, drink blood instead. Lol. Yeah, I don't have access to blood, and I actually appreciate nice cold water in the Thailand heat. SVA donated 10 SAR. What is SAR? I have to look that up. Let me see. SAR currency. This is the first time, I think. Saudi Rial. That is interesting. Saudi Rials. So some sort of Saudi money, huh? We're getting oil rich over here. Thank you so much. That's the first time that I'm getting Saudi money. I appreciate it. He says, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well so far, brother. Very well indeed, to be totally honest. I'm back in Thailand, as the thumbnail says, and as I repeated many, many times here on this live stream, I'm very, very happy at the moment. Thank God, thank God. Okay, now, I think I'm through all the super chats. No, not at all. Actually, not at all. Wow, this is crazy. We have so many super chats. Oh, wow, man. Guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly mean this. This is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Being gone for so long, coming back and getting so much support. It's absolutely insane. Thank you so much for all the super chats. It's breathtaking, really. This much support I didn't expect at all. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And as I always say, guys, like this, you will get your questions answered. I saw here in the chat a few times people post and repost, hey, answer in the regular chat. Guys, I'm trying to, but as you can see, we have so many super chats, and super chats will always be prioritized. As I said, now for the 100th time, you can donate as little as $1. I think anybody can do that. And like that, I will answer your question for sure. So, super chats, even better Streamlabs donations. Like this, you can get your question answered, and on top of that, you can support the channel. That's how it works. So thank you very much. In Germany we say, eine Hand wäscht die andere. That means one hand is washing the other hand. So it's like win-win. Get it? Alright. Javid donated again. Thank you very much, Javid. They told me to get to Ukraine, I have to fly into Poland and take a train from there to Kiev. I'm scared about getting stuck and all the tests. Man, first and foremost, who told you to get to Ukraine? That's my first question. So why would you have to go there? I personally wouldn't go, not necessarily because I'm scared of going. I just have no interest at the moment to travel through that area. For what, really? I'm not seeking anything there. But in terms of testing, so for Europeans, it was very, very easy lately. So just driving over the borders was absolutely no issue at all. But when you're getting into Ukraine, Poland, it might be different, of course. But the whole Western world, there was absolutely no issues at all with traveling any longer. Anyways, that being said, about the testing, if you get one test to fly to Europe, I think that is still mandatory, I'm not too sure, then that should be fine, right? You wouldn't have to do any further testing. I don't believe so. So if you can get a test, if you know what I mean, you should be able to get over to Ukraine as well. That's basically all I can say. But my question would be, why do you have to go to Ukraine in the first place? I don't really understand that. But yeah, one test should be enough. If you can get one from where you're coming, then you should be fine, if you know what I mean. Mr. Khan, when is the podcast happening with Sheikh Uthman? So now I settled, guys. Here, update, big update. Whoop, whoop. So now I settled in Thailand. Settled, more or less. And this seems to work. Internet seems to work. I'm going to double check later on my phone if this actually re-looked the way it should have. And I wrote with One Message Foundation 2 days ago. That was the last time we wrote, and that's when we realized that we are 12 hours apart now. So, yeah, fantastic. So 12 hours apart, it's going to be a bit tricky to line it up, but nevertheless, God willing, very, very soon, we should do the live stream. I think it's going to be live on his channel, if I'm not mistaken. And after that, I might re-upload it here, maybe not, we'll see. But God willing, very, very soon. Possibly next week already, we will see. Javid donated $5 again. Today is Javid is the VIP here. Actually the MVP, the most valuable player, most valuable member of this channel. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it, man. He says, no, bro, continue to make the movie. Keep the donations for the future movie. As I said, the donations are frozen, so I never touched that money. It's still on GoFundMe. And if we can get the team back together or possibly even get better people on board, then fine, for sure. But I'm not even in contact with Rob Tunks anymore, which is the farmer. And in the end, unfortunately, he started saying, yeah, well, I don't know if we can actually film all those animals that are dying within those fields, because they will be ground up already and this and that. So I don't know, man. I'm not saying he started making excuses or anything, don't get me wrong. Like, God forbid, I'm not talking crap here. Just in the end, logistically, from all sides, it started failing. So it just didn't happen then. If it's supposed to happen, then it will. As I said, the money is still frozen there. We will see how it goes in the future. Thank you very much. Again, bro. Rumi Henchman has donated 80 cents through Super Chat. I didn't even know that was possible, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. The number 23 donated $2. Thank you, the number 23. I hope you didn't actually take the jab. In early 2020, I also had terrible flu. I couldn't sleep and the fever was killing me. I recovered and never got so sick again. I realized there are so many more serious chronic illnesses than the flu. Of course I got jabbed 3 times. Right? Yes. I'm gonna take the 4th booster shot as well. Yes. There are many, many, many more terrible diseases than the flu, bro. That's for sure. Pixel City donated $10 again. Thank you so much, bro. Hey, Bobby, I enjoy when you talk about various subjects like crypto, health, politics, etc. You're on YouTube full-time. Make that money, brother, even if you have to start other channels. I got into crypto because of you and really happy I did. Cheers. Man, that's absolutely amazing to hear. I'm really, really happy that it worked out for you, that you got into crypto. I say it all the time. I'm not so versed on crypto that I could open up a channel, for example, right? About the making money, I'm absolutely unapologetic about it. We all need to make money. So when people, again, blame me on, oh, wow, you're generating clicks or boo, bad. Yes, of course it's nice that it generates money. Are you kidding me? I have a family to feed. Wow, big surprise. People are making money. As I said, I'm full-time on YouTube at the moment. And thank God I can feed my family. So yes, more clicks, more money is obviously welcome. Everybody knows that. Money equals food. So yes, of course, we want money. Duh. The only thing is, of course, we don't want to worship money. Talked about this previous times. It's so insane to hear this every single time when people blame you for making money. What are you making? You're not making any money? You're not paying taxes? You're not going to work? What are you doing? You're broke? How are you watching YouTube? On your phone? How did you get that? So anyways, yeah, the point of the story is, I love that too, man. I love diversifying my content, but at the same time I'm thinking, and as you know, I'm always completely transparent about those things. I always talk to my viewers like my friends, and this is why I appreciate my viewers, and I believe this is why my viewers actually appreciate this channel. So my point is that if I diversify the content again, it might work, it might trigger the algorithm positively, but at the same time, I always get myself into a mess. Because when I talk about different subjects, I start talking about liberalism, about LGBT, I talk about whatever medicinal things. And yeah, then I get super shadow banned yet again, right? So yeah, multiple channels would be possibly a better idea. So maybe I should just start with a simple vlog channel on the side. And if you guys want to check out my vlogs, you can do it over there. And I'm going to vlog a little bit about Thailand, possibly. Just absolutely drama-free channel. Might do that. And about crypto, I like talking about it, and I'm gonna keep on talking about it here on the live streams for sure. But separate videos, I'm actually not that well versed. If I look into my friends, for example, they're day trading and whatnot, I just put some money in crypto, right? I just invested into certain coins that I find attractive, and that's basically it. So I'm not a mastermind of manipulating the market or seeing how it has been manipulated. I simply see that it is a great future investment, and that's basically what I'm doing. But anyways, yeah, we will see. We will see. Either I will diversify the content, or I will make multiple channels. But that being said, I'm bringing back the live streams. And on the live streams, as you can see here as well, we're talking about everything, right? So at the moment, yes, religion on the for the content for the channel is huge, of course. It's amazing. It runs perfect. I'm very, very happy about it. And for me personally, for my personal journey, it's absolutely fantastic as well, right? Because, yes, that's what I'm interested in at the moment. Bobby's perspective right now, interested in Islam. Who would have ever thought that? I myself, never. I thought that I will never open the Quran in my life and be happy ever after. But ultimately, God's will, I had to, right? And therefore, this at the moment, the big topic on Bobby's perspective. But nevertheless, on the live streams, I definitely want to keep it diversified, right? And not talk so much about religion, because for that we have the videos. And yeah, talk about all kinds of subjects. Maybe then, if I find the time, I can cut certain things out of the live stream and put it into shorts and whatnot. Anyways, enough rambling. Let's get back to the super chats. Thank you so much, Pixel City Art. Appreciate it, bro. Javid donated $7. Thank you so much, brother. Again, I really appreciate it, man. And thank you everybody else as well. See, now it's not only Javid, so it's very, very beautiful to see that everybody, or more people rather, are donating as well, supporting here. Thank you, thank you. The carnivore crisps and snacks totally differ in taste from each other, so they likely differ from grassland. Crisps has a potatoes chip texture. Snacks are more meaty, but not like jerky. I'll tell them to contact you. It's delish. Sounds awesome, man. Why not? Absolutely fantastic. So I just want to get as pure ingredients as I can. It's not that I'm a purist anymore. Really, I'm really not. Especially since I'm a dad, I can enjoy all kinds of meals. It doesn't have to be only carnivore, etc., etc. But that being said, those snacks, if they have too many ingredients, man, they never agree with me. They're always tough on my digestion if they put in all kinds of preservatives, etc., etc. So if they're clean, for sure, why not? Let them contact me. I would try them out. I would give them a review for sure. The grassland stuff is just crispy, so it's basically like chips. And I assume that, let me read this again, the crisps you say, right? Now the snacks. The snacks must be more like a carnivore bar, I would assume. I had this carnivore bar once before, but then I looked into it. It had actually a bit of soy protein, and we don't need to lower our testosterone levels. Yes, I'm jabbed 3 times. Of course. Okay, Rumi Henchman 180, thank you very much, bro. 3 immersive dimensions. 1, Muslim. 2, Mumin. 3, Muhsin. I heard Mumin before, but I don't know what Muhsin is. I'm gonna look it up now. Let me see. Mumin is an Arabic and Islamic term. Actually, let me nah, I can't do it because I don't have 2 monitors. Anyways, Mu'min is an Islamic term frequently referenced in the Quran, meaning believer. It denotes a person who has complete submission to the will of God and has faith firmly established in his heart, i.e. a faithful Muslim. So basically, okay, I get it. So it's like the next step of the regular Muslim. The Muslim is a believer, but this one is already that established the faith in the heart. That's very, very interesting. And what was the next step? Muhsin. Thank you guys, you're the best. Next one is a Muhsin. Let me see. Muhsin is a masculine Arabic given name. The first person known to have this name Muhsin was Muhsin ibn Ali, the son of Ali ibn Talib. The word Muhsin is the active participate of either excellence of God's worship, submission to God's will, and Iman. It's very interesting, man. That is like Super Saiyan stage 1, 2, and 3, right? So Muhsin is the stage 3 Super Saiyan. Very, very interesting to hear. And I do understand it. It's absolutely true that you have levels of the game and everything, and spirituality as well. Thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you very much for the clarification. I'm definitely going to check it out further. I really love stuff like this. Leveling up. Sayed donated $10. Thank you so much, Sayed. I enjoy your perception. Keep it up, brother. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate the donation and happy to hear. Thank you very much. Javid donated $1. Thank you again, Javid. Safe to eat grapes out of the bag without rinsing. So it depends on the grapes. Many are sprayed as well. So if you get organic stuff, then yes. If they're sprayed, then rather no. But that being said, just rinsing in most instances doesn't do much anyways. Because, yeah, rinsing, depending on the tap water, you're just flushing it around. Not the best idea. There is a way to cleanse vegetables and even meats to an extent, and that is by O3. It's a bit alternative. It's not a bit, it's totally alternative. And it's a bit weird for sure. It's O3, so it's 3 O molecules. I don't exactly know how that O3 molecule was called in the end. I used it back in the day. Let me just check. O3, I think ozone, right? Yes, ozone. So you can get a little ozone machine on Amazon, I guess, and can't cost more than $20 or so, maybe even cheaper. And thank you so much, guys. And what this little ozone machine does is ultimately you take this ozone machine, you put it into water, right? And then it saturates the water with O3 molecules. So ozone is very unstable, and therefore it splits apart to O2, right, oxygen, and then the other O molecule needs to attach itself to something. That's just how it works. So it attaches itself, allegedly, to parasites and to all kinds of other pesticides and oxidizes them. And like that destroys them, right? So, yeah, it's very easy to do. I still have friends that swear by it. I used it back in the day when I was sick. And you can even drink this oxygenated water. Allegedly, it's very, very healthy. But anyways, so if you really want to get rid of stuff, this is how we did it back in the day. And yeah, I would say it's worth a try. Look into it. O3 ozone generator machine. I'm not too sure how it is called in English. Just check it out. And like that, you can oxygenate your water and leave that stuff in there, be it grapes, be it whatever, and wash everything off. It's worth a shot. Okay. Rumi Henchman, yet again, thank you very much. Are you open to a deep project collab? What does that mean? You want to collaborate? Are you a YouTuber as well? Or what exactly? I don't know what you mean by a deep project collab. I'm not sure if I'm willing to do that. So before I give you my yes, Please let me know what you're asking of me. What is a deep project collab? I would like to know. Javid again, thank you, brother. Have you tried balut or balute? Popular in the Philippines. I've never been to the Philippines. I only heard bad stuff about the Philippines, unfortunately. But I will visit myself at some point to check them out. But balute, no. I've never tried it. I don't even know what it is. So let me just check it real quick. Balute. Balute. It's a food. It's a fertilized developing egg embryo. Oh, nah. But I'm not into that, bro. I might be seen as the evil carnivore, but nah, I don't want to eat an embryo. It just doesn't sit right. But yeah, in China it's popular as well, as far as I know. But nah, I'm not into it, man. Thank you very much. Again, Javid, no worries, bro. The Carney crisps and Carney snacks products are clean. Only grass-fed, grass-finished meat and salt. Okay, fantastic. Then I'm absolutely open to it, man. Sounds great. VY donated $15. Thank you very much for the generous donation. On that note, let me give you an applause and everybody here. And he or she, or they, or they, or zer, says, have you... Nah, no worry. No, wrong one as well. Hey, nice to see you back on live. God bless. God bless you too, brother. It's absolutely fantastic to be back live. I am genuinely happy to be here. I really mean this. I have to laugh by saying it. I've been really missing it. I didn't know that I missed it this much. And yeah, it feels fantastic to be back, especially with so much support and seeing all the old faces again. It's really amazing. Thank you so much for tuning back in, guys. I appreciate it. Sabrina donated $2 and asks, when is your interview with Sheikh Uthman Farouk? I already answered this, but for the super chat, of course, one more time. I am in contact with One Message Foundation. We talked roughly 2 days ago, and we realized that we are 12 hours apart. Compassion. That's an insider here from Vegan Times. Most people don't even get it. But anyways. So yeah, as I was saying, we talked 2 days ago, realized that we're 12 hours apart now. So yeah, the interview would have been easier done in Europe. But nevertheless, we want to get it done very, very soon. So I'm not making promises here, but it might happen next week already. So we're setting everything up now, trying to find a time that fits us both. And yeah, then we're gonna do the live stream as soon as possible. I have my questions down as well, and at the same time, I was thinking to myself that actually I'm not even too sure if I'm gonna go through all of those questions one by one. I'd rather have an organic talk, so we will see how it goes. So let's see what kind of questions they have for me as well. And yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty organic. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thank you very much, Sabrina. And we have another one by Javid. What happens when you go Super Saiyan? Does blonde hair appear on the scalp, or does it only affect the hair you already have? So, from alternative mangas, alternative fan art, we saw Nappa, right? Nappa was bald, and Nappa went Super Saiyan. So, not officially, because officially he didn't go Super Saiyan, he died before that, but in those alternative stories, etc., he goes Super Saiyan, and no, you don't see any Super Saiyan hair, because he doesn't have any hair, right? I think his beard there, his little goatee or what it was, turns blonde, and that's basically what it is. So, no, I personally, if I would go Super Saiyan, it would be only my beard. And yeah, it would probably turn blonde and just go upwards or something on those lines. We have another super chat here. Yes. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's what you get as a Super Saiyan, you stay bald then, but you would get a white, yellowish aura around you as well. So people will definitely realize that you are a Super Saiyan. So I'm still gonna try, maybe one day. Bald Super Saiyan. I'm gonna be Nappa. Nappa 2.0. Good question, bro, by the way. Thank you very much. Rumi Henchman, the discreet kind for the greater good. I don't get it, bro. I really don't know what you mean. Anyways, Rumi, you can contact me via Instagram or email. All the links are in the description box. And there you can tell me as well if you don't want to make it public. But I don't really understand what you mean. Okay, Javid, donate again. Thank you so much, brother. It's way too much, man. Thank you. What are the bad things you've heard about the Philippines? Lol, they eat that balut with beer as a chaser. Goatus would be down without the beer. Lol, yeah, Goatus would be down to eat that thing raw, of course. I personally don't want to eat an embryo. It's, yeah, really doesn't sit right with me. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but for me personally, nah, I don't like that. But the bad things about the Philippines, to be honest, it wouldn't even affect me personally. But my sister was there, and they went to a beach with her friend. So both girls, both in their 20s at that point, yes. And they went to a beach, nice beach, and it was pretty empty, so they laid there in their bikinis, right? So they didn't go nude or anything, but they were just in their bikinis laying there on a pretty empty beach. So next thing you know, a couple of Filipino guys behind rocks started to beat off. Yeah, so they started walking away, right? They were shocked. My sister was very shocked. She's extremely conservative when it comes down to such things. And they started walking, and those guys just came after them, jerking off. Thank God they didn't do anything worse. But yeah, bad enough as it is, right? And I heard many stories like that, of behavior like that. Like little Filipinos being super horny for white chicks and just beating off and whatnot. As I said, I'm not a white chick, so for me personally it wouldn't affect me probably. And I guess it depends as well where you are ultimately. But nevertheless, those are the bad things that I heard about the Philippines, right? And of course the sex tourism, but you hear that about Thailand as well, and that depends most definitely on the spot that you're at. So for example, the spot that we're at right now, super family friendly, no red lights, no prostitution, no degeneracy. But when I went to Nana just a few days ago, thank you again, guys. I'm gonna respond in a second. When I went to Nana just a few days ago, and I filmed this, on that note, you can check out my Telegram group. It's absolutely free. It's in the description box. And I filmed it, and I uploaded it there. So I filmed what I perceived to be a prostitute, but maybe it was just... Nah, it was a prostitute for sure. So it was this woman, this girl, this lady, whatever, just passed out at the bus stop, laying on all the seats, sleeping there, drunk probably, with her ass out, right? So yeah, you can see that on Telegram if you want to see that. Only if you're 18 years old. But at the same time, kids were walking around there, right? And tourists with their children. So this is what you see in certain red light districts here as well, or areas that have the red light. That's that. In the Philippines, you have that stuff too, right? So those are the things that I heard. Okay. Dia donated $2.10. Thank you very much, Dia. Do you see yourself becoming a Muslim, and will your family accept that as you are a Macedonian? Love your videos. Thank you very much. So first and foremost, my family had to accept that I don't identify as a Macedonian, but as a Bulgarian from Macedonia, which is another can of worms. And that was fine. But anyways, the point about becoming Muslim, I'm not saying what I'm going to do, right? So that's between me and God. I'm not going to say what I'm going to do or not going to do. We're going to see where that ends. And ultimately, if you believe in the Quran, if you believe in any teaching, Islamic teaching in that sense, you know that God guides who he wills. And ultimately, if it is supposed to happen, then it will happen anyways. Because my destiny is already set for me when I'm in the womb of a mother, right? That's how it is That's how it is explained. And that's why we will see what God has in store for me, if he plans for me to convert or not. But that being said, would my family accept that? I don't think so. So my dad would be absolutely against that, even though he's not religious. And his standpoint is much more Islamic than it would be Christian, because it was my dad that never read the Bible. He never read one page of the Bible. He goes to church maybe once a year for Christmas, and that's basically it. He isn't into theology at all. But if you ask him who is God, then he will say that God is one. And there's only one God and nobody is like God, right? And I told him about the concept of the Trinity. I think it's roughly, is it 2 years ago now? No, 1.5 years ago, something along those lines. I told him about the concept of the Trinity, and he told me, wow, that sounds totally insane. Why would they believe in that? And I told him, who's they? He said, yeah, you were talking about the Muslims, no? It's the Muslims that believe in this, like 3 in one God, no? No, Dad, that's what we believe. And he couldn't believe me. And he said, it's total insanity. It doesn't make any sense. It's so ridiculous. Why would anybody think of that? And so he tried to wrap his head around it, which my dad usually never does. But he tried to understand it. And the next day he came to me, and I didn't even talk about it anymore. And he came to me the next day and said again, this sounds totally ridiculous. What are you talking about, man? This Trinity thing there. I thought we stopped talking about it, man. No, but it's really ridiculous. I don't know how they came up with this. This is so crazy. So yeah, anyways, his thoughts about Islam is that Islam is for the Albanians and for the Turks. He's a proud Christian without really understanding the ideology and the theology of Christianity. I'm not saying that to mock my own dad. Obviously not. This is just how people grew up on the Balkan. He grew up in Yugoslavia under communism, so they didn't learn anything about the religion. They simply knew what they were, and that's basically it. And yeah, nevertheless, he's identified as a Christian. He's identified as a Macedonian, and therefore would heavily disagree with me. And for the rest of my family, it would be extremely strange, especially because I was so against Islam. So to my closest family, like sister, mother, etc., it'd be extremely strange because I hated Islam with a vengeance. I just hated it. And therefore they would be shocked. So they would be absolutely shocked, right? And to my distant family, cousins, etc., they would be just weirded out. Why would you do that? Especially to the people living in Macedonia. For them it's crystal clear that we are Christians and the Albanians are Muslims, so why would you become one of them? Doesn't make any sense. That's basically it. Long story short, everybody would be just weirded out, and they wouldn't get what is going on and why that would be the case and why I would have to do that, and they would be probably very, very disappointed as well. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for the super chat. Murad Musa donated $5 Canadian. Thank you so much, Murad Musa. Love your channel, Bobby. Can you please react to the video Muhammad and Medina in the Bible by many prophets, one message sometime in the future? Well, I have good news for you. I just reacted to Muhammad in the Bible, Muhammad and Medina in the Bible 2 days ago. And already edited that video. Unfortunately got demonetized as well, so now I'm in the appealing process, so hopefully we can get the monetization back up, and yeah, God willing, should be up this week. Thank you very much for the donation, bro. The number 23 donated again, $5, thank you so much. Bobby, would you make a reaction series to one anime? Animes would be copyright striked, so I don't think I can do that. If you want to learn the truth about God, then it's an amazing show to react to that would also generate a lot of views if you make a reaction series. It's called FMA 2009. This show can open your eyes. Okay, this sounds extremely interesting, I have to say. But at the same time, as I said, it would be copyright striked, I assume. So I have to check what I can do. Let me see. I'm going to Google it right now. Does this copy? Okay, I'm just going to write it down. Just give me a second. Ah, Full Metal Alchemist. Yes, I heard about it, of course, man. Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, but this is definitely copyright strike because it is on Netflix as well. Especially the newer one, right? I had recommendations for Full Metal Alchemist a billion times, and I should definitely watch this at some point. But to do a reaction, I mean, especially to every episode, etc., like that, I couldn't do that. Maybe I can watch it and then talk about it. But reacting to it will be definitely copyright strike, man. But nevertheless, it's a great idea, and thanks for the reminder, because people were telling me to watch it or to read it years ago, and I still haven't done it. So thank you very much, man. VY donated again, thank you very much. Verse of the day. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this? John. I have to say that I came to the conclusion that I simply cannot trust John. Why is that so? Because John is the latest gospel, if you will, and moreover, John is so different from the other gospels, right? And that is, to me, just extremely strange. All of those statements, when I was reading John for the first time, right, when I was coming back to Christian Orthodoxy and I was reading John, I was amazed. I was like, oh, this proves it actually. This proves the Trinity, and this proves that Jesus is God. I was really looking for something to make sense of it, right? But ultimately, when I found out that John, first and foremost, wasn't even a disciple of Christ, but maybe a Greek philosopher or God knows who, and he wrote it 100 years later, and it's so different than the other Gospels, this kind of broke it down to me. And then I thought to myself, well, this is not legit, essentially. John glorifies Jesus in a very, very exalted manner. And makes him greater than all the other Gospels. So in the other Gospels, he wasn't described as such. And this was something that made me extremely, extremely skeptical when it comes down to John. And most of the statements, when it comes down to debating Trinity, debating the deity of Christ, in 99% of instances, people will quote John, right? And yeah, this is where my skepticism comes from. Thank you very much again for the donation, bro. Javid donated again and again. Thank you so much, Javid, bro. I seek stem cell treatment in Kiev. Ah, okay, that makes sense. But there must be another place, man, no? Mexico as well has stem cell treatments. Colombia. Got inspired from the God Cells documentary. I've been following the stem cell topic since Mel Gibson spoke with Joe Rogan about it on his podcast. Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating, man. I would really like some stem cells as well in my shoulder predominantly and my lower back. That would be fantastic to see if they really can heal. But yeah, I mean, if you only can get it in Kiev, again, I wouldn't worry too much about the testing. If that's your only hiccup here, you're going to be just fine. But if you can find it somewhere else, then I would prefer it somewhere else, to be totally honest. But very, very interesting. Please keep me up to date with that, man, and let me know how much you paid and if it worked, how much better you got, and then I would really consider that as well in the future. We had another one by VY, another Bible verse. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he bowed down. Okay. And now what? I don't really get the reference. So because he bowed down to the 3 men, this symbolizes the Trinity then, and therefore God is 3 and 1. Okay. Another one by Javid. Still unsure about it though. It's an expensive treatment and traveling in a war zone is risky. Yeah, man, it is. The M-cell clinic in Ukraine has the most advanced stem cell technology. Hopefully the Russians don't blow it up. Yeah, who knows, man. They're definitely going after those laboratories, so it might happen, right? Be careful, man. Why don't you just wait it out? If you are not in a rush, just wait it out. And I don't know, I heard a lot of good things about South America, but I haven't tried it myself, so I can't vouch for that. But I think Mexico is doing a lot with stem cells as well. Okay. Alright, how long am I streaming already? Let me just double check real quick. What has it been? It doesn't show. That's nice. Thank you very much, stream. Let me just grab my phone here. I have to double check something, guys. I'm gonna be right back. Alright, back again. Sorry for the delay, guys. We had another super chat by the number 23. Thank you very much for the $2. Thanks for your honesty, Bobby. React to the Illuminati card game from 1994. My buddy has them at home, those cards. From Steve Jackson. They are a little outdated, but still very interesting and relevant in my opinion. You can learn a lot. Also learn about the 23 Enigma and the power of number 23. That is interesting. That is something that I haven't heard about. The Enigma and the power of the number 23. I'm going to look into that. The Illuminati card game, as I said, my buddy is a bit into esoteric, occult knowledge, etc., etc. Into tarot card reading, stuff like that. And yeah, he showed me those cards. They were quite interesting. They definitely looked like they have a lot of predictions in them. Especially because they are from 1994. So he was sure they leaked, they're actually created by the Illuminati to mock us, etc., etc. Might be. And yeah, it's actually a nice idea to just review them on the channel. Why not? I could do that. Thank you very much for the idea, man. I appreciate it. Okay. Dia, thank you very much again for the donation. Do you believe in jinns and have you ever experienced that kind of stuff before? I'm also from Macedonia, Skopje by the way. Oh nice, my cousins, a few of them, live in Skopje as well. I was there just, what is it now? 3-4 weeks ago. I was still there. But I unfortunately couldn't make a meetup or something on those lines. It just didn't work out. I was just jumping from family member to family member. You guys know how that is when you're in the Balkans. Anyways, about jinns and have you experienced that kind of stuff before? Yeah, the thing is this. The Christian perspective is essentially angels and demons, right? Good guys, bad guys, very simplistic. The jinn is not only a good entity, is not only a bad entity, but can be anything in between as well, right? And that is so fascinating to me personally because through my psychedelic experiences, this is what I experienced. So I'm going to try to put this in simple terms, but it's almost impossible. But nevertheless, I'm going to try for people that have absolutely no idea about psychedelics, right? This is not a channel about psychedelics only, and therefore most of my viewers nowadays especially, they have no experience with psychedelics at all. They don't even know what it is. So psychedelics, they can come in a natural form or a chemical, right? And the natural psychedelics are, for example, mushrooms, and you can pretty much pick them in almost every country. It's quite wild, but in almost every country you have those psychedelic mushrooms. So therefore they are natural. You don't have to cultivate them, you can just pick them technically. And then you just eat them. This is not a recommendation, please don't do it. You could die as well, of course, not of the psychedelic ones, but if you just go out and pick mushrooms, there are many, many poisonous mushrooms, so be aware of that. Anyways, that being said, this is something that people have been doing for thousands and thousands of years. And if you ingest that mushroom, I personally am of the conviction that you go into another realm. I know that in this modern day and age, with our Western perspective and scientific mind and whatnot, we like to think of those experiences as hallucinations, and that's it. It's just a hallucination, bro, you're just tripping. I personally don't believe that. I believe that we actually do go to another place and that we do see things that we otherwise cannot see. So, if we're speaking about science, science showed that our brain filters out so much, because otherwise we couldn't really experience this reality as we do right now. And for our own safety, quote unquote, our brain filters out a ton, right? If you go to sleep, on the other hand, you experience a subconscious world. If you take certain drugs, yet again, you can see certain things that might be actually there. That is my opinion. This is debatable. Some people think, oh, you see things that are not there, right? You're ingesting something, so therefore you see something that is not there in the first place. But I make the point that, I believe that the filters are removed and you actually do see things that are actually there. Okay, back to the jinn question. So when I ingested those psychedelics, those mushrooms or whatnot, yes, I saw plenty of entities that couldn't be classified only as evil or only as good, even though I've seen those entities too. So even the Christian perspective of angels and demons, even that I would say is true, because you have those two extremes. The angels, I didn't experience them in the classical sense, the way that we see angels with wings, but rather as light beings, in a way. And those light beings were the closest to God, in a way that they resembled God the closest, and they were the closest to the will of God. But at the same time, they're of course not God, because they were the first level of creation, so to speak. That's how I saw it, right? They were the first mega creation, metaphysical being, which is not incarnated like us, not made out of flesh, and almost eternal, but not yet eternal, and almost as good as God, but actually never just as good as God, because they're downgraded versions of that. And they had will, they had characters. Let me correct that. They didn't have will, they had characters. They had a flavor to them, but they only followed the will of God. That's how I saw it. So therefore they didn't have ego. They had a flavor to it, they had a character. You could give them a name if you will, but ultimately they followed only God's will. And the human follows whatever he wants to follow, basically. And the jinns, they were kind of similar to that. So the jinns, even though you had this super extreme, which would be probably called shaitans in Islam, you had the super, super evil ones. But at the same time, you had everything in between. So those beings, they had characters just like us, egos just like us. Some of them, they wanted to befriend you. Some of them really wanted genuinely to help you out and do something good. But that doesn't mean that it would have been good, because they have their flawed little perspectives as well. And that's the thing, right? So I might have my perspective, and this is why I clearly call it my perspective. But that doesn't mean that therefore this is right for you, right? There's something that we have to keep in mind. Anyways, ultimately, yes, this is what I experienced on psychedelics, even in deep meditation to an extent, but never to that extent like on psychedelics. And therefore, I don't only believe in jinns, I personally witnessed it. And I personally, if you want to ask me what I believe my experience. Because seeing is believing, they say, right? If I experience something, I know it for a fact. You can watch all the boxing footage in the world. If you never stepped into the ring and boxed, you never know. You just never know. You can be a tough guy talking a lot of crap, but you never know. You never know. You never had the bleedy nose, right? You never had a cracked jaw. You never know. So you have to experience it in order to know. And for me, those psychedelics are pathways to that. And again, not a recommendation. They can lead you astray. They can lead you to very, very evil things as well. I got out of it, thank God. But during that time, yes, I saw jinns. I'm convinced of that. And therefore I don't believe only in jinns. I personally believe that they are real. Yes. Okay, thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you very much for the interesting question. That definitely took me down memory lane. Let me just double check something, man. I think I missed something. If I missed any of your super chats, guys, please let me know in the chat box as well. Give me an alarm, so don't miss out on that. Let me just go down here. Many things are disappearing, unfortunately. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. It doesn't display them anymore. There's another issue. Unfortunately, once you've been through so many super chats, thank you very much again for the support. But then the last super chats are disappearing. So if I missed something, guys, please let me know. Okay, anyways, guys. I've been at it for over 2 hours. Here's that thing. Boomer Bobby in full effect. 2 hours and 4 minutes. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to stay back for 5 minutes, right? 5 more minutes. Clear warning. If you want support, want to donate now. After that, I'm gone. And during those 5 minutes, I'm going to try now to answer some of your chats here. Let's try. Okay? I'm going to try to answer some of your chats. And then I'm tuning out in 5 minutes. Clear warning. Thank you very much. Bobby, please react to Prophet Stories in Islam by Sheikh Mufti Menk or Sheikh Shadi As-Suleiman. Okay. I'm going to check out Mufti Menk because people were telling me about him a lot. Thank you very much. Javid, gonna read it out now. Wo in Deutschland hast du eigentlich gelebt? NRW wahrscheinlich, oder? Ja, das ist richtig. Das ist ganz genau richtig. In NRW. He asked where I lived. I lived in Nordrhein-Westfalen, in Germany. Sheikh Shady. Yeah, sounds kinda shady, right? Ho ho ho. Javid, for your needs, mesenchymal stem cells from umbilical cord is your best bet. Okay. Dream Body Clinic in Mexico will have it most affordable for quality. Probably 5 to 10k range. I'm definitely not going to spend that much money at the moment, bro. I have to feed my family. But who knows? Maybe in the future. Dream Body Clinic in Mexico, huh? It's crazy what they can do nowadays, man. Yeah, I'm very, very interested. I'm definitely going to keep on observing and see how it develops. But at the moment, 5 to 10k is a bit over my budget. But thank you very much for the name. Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God? In a metaphorical sense, yes. Because... Thank you very much. I'm going to read out in a second. In a metaphorical sense, yes. Maybe in the truest sense of the word. But the word itself, Son of God. Thank you so much. Oh, Matze, good to see you. Going to read out in a second. Because when you read through the Bible, a son of God ultimately is a man of God. Is actually, I'm going to go so far and say, a son of God is what is, from a Quranic perspective, a Muslim, right? Or maybe even a mu'min, or a muhsin, or I don't know exactly how you pronounce that. But yeah, it's in the Bible. You can find it in the Bible. A son of God itself is somebody that essentially submitted his will to God. That's basically what it is, right? In the truest sense of the word. And therefore, metaphorically, yes, sure. Because Jesus, as well, within the Gospels, it is described how he says that he came so we can become sons of God. Right? So, what does that mean? So essentially, it means that we become true followers of God. That's basically it. So in that sense, yes, he's the Son of God. But... yeah, not the literal son of God, in terms of God had a baby. So that's not how I think about him. Anyway, super chats. We just have 5 minutes to go, not even. It's just 4 minutes. Let me see. Here we go. 5822. These, he has inscribed faith in their hearts and has supported them with a spirit from him. May Allah guide you and protect you, brother. Thank you very much. May Allah guide you and protect you too, my friend. I really appreciate it. And appreciate the verse as well. Because yes, faith is inscribed in your hearts. And ultimately, even from a Christian perspective, we even said that, yeah, it is written in your heart, right? It is there. You don't have to look any further. You have to look into your heart, and there you're going to find the truth. Matze, good to see you, bro. He donated $5. Thank you so much, bro. People are addicted to, high on, and therefore blinded by unleavened bread, gluten. Thoughts. Yeah, I personally had this issue when I was 16 years old and got into bodybuilding. And I simply couldn't understand why Jesus was eating bread. Honestly, for me it was so shocking back then when I was 16. I was like, if he's really the Son of God, why does he eat bread? Bread is so bad for you. Even as a 16-year-old with bodybuilding, I understood that. Why would you eat gluten, right? Why would you eat bread? That's the worst for the human body. If you're truly enlightened... Thank you so much, David, yet again, brother. If you're so enlightened, why would you eat bread? It's the last thing on earth you should eat, right? And, hey, I've seen many carnivores that converted to orthodoxy, and they struggle not only with the bread part, but they struggle so much with the Lent fast, right? And they complain about it, and they find loopholes how not to do it. I find it very, very funny, man. If you're truly 100% convinced by your religion, then you have to fast. That's the whole point. Then you have to fast. And the Lent, the fast in orthodoxy, is of course plant-based, right? It's not vegan, they say. It's plant-based. Yeah, it's plant-based. And they're not eating plant-based. They're not fasting. So, like that, you're not a true orthodox either. Thank you very much for the donation, bro. Yes, they're blinded by it, man. Javid, again, bro, thank you so much for today, man. Thank you so much for the ongoing support. The Ukraine is the only clinic that uses fetal stem cells. This is better for more complicated diseases like Parkinson's, etc. But it's double the price for Mexico. They told me around 20K. Poof, that's super expensive. And at the same time, ethically, man, I couldn't do it. Because I'm against abortion. And so therefore to use fetal stem cells, I personally couldn't do it. Like back in the day I would have done it with absolutely no worries. And I can understand people why they would do it. And especially if you have really, really bad issues health-wise, sure, I understand it yet again. But I personally couldn't do that. I would, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Because I truly, truly cherish being straight with my decisions, and if I'm against something, I'm against something, and I'm against abortion big time, so therefore I wouldn't be able to use fetal stem cells. I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah. Anyways, welcome to the channel. And our 5 minutes are up now, but we have one super chat. I see it upcoming here. 1 second, that should be coming through any time now. Until then, I'm going to read out one more question here. Bobby, I know veganism is bad, but I have been reading about cholesterol, and apparently red meat has a lot of it and could cause heart problems. Is then animal meat still worth it? Yeah, then read other studies as well, because most of the cholesterol science is based on Ansel Keys. Look that up as well. And there's a lot of propaganda. Thank you very much. There he is. I'm going to read out in a second. There's a lot of propaganda in order to sell statins. So that is definitely very, very interesting if you go down that rabbit hole. So therefore, yeah, those studies are extremely biased. And now you have studies coming up again that show, yeah, well, actually, red meat not that bad after all. Just look into what people in the natural environment ate, and you will see that they were in much better health than the West, and you will see which foods have been demonized in the West in the past decades, and then you will see that we nevertheless, despite, or maybe because of that, develop much, much more diseases than ever before. So no, meat is not the enemy here. It's definitely worth it. Enjoy the red meat, especially the raw one. So now, from dusk until spawn, thank you very much, man. We are keeping a big, generous donation here for the last super chat of $20. Thank you very much. And he says, glad to see you back, man. Glad to be back, brother. Very, very glad to be back. Very, very glad to be back in Thailand, back doing live streams. God willing, many, many more to come very soon. Today I had to be a bit quiet because my son is sleeping. That's a daddy life now. One more donation, thank you very much. That's daddy life now, but yeah, I will try to make the upcoming streams a bit more dynamic. I'm going to be traveling again a bit, as I said, hopefully be able to do some vlogs as well, maybe on a separate channel, maybe not. We'll see how that goes. A lot more interesting stuff to come now that I'm here in Thailand. Hey guys, on that note, actually, I'm thinking now that I'm here in Thailand, and if I have any Thai viewers that are Muslims, or maybe even just people that are here in Thailand and are Muslim or traveling through, if anybody wants to show me around a bit and show me Islam in real life, that would be interesting as well, because I haven't experienced it. The only time that I was in a masjid was in Istanbul, and that is now 4 years ago, something on those lines. I think 4 years ago. And I was totally anti-Islam. I just visited Istanbul as a tourist, basically, and went through those masjids, was very angry about Hagia Sophia, of course, and that's roughly it. So I haven't experienced Islam in real life at all. So if there's anybody that wants to show me around here in Thailand, hit me up. I'm definitely open to that as well. Anyways, that being said, guys, stay tuned. There's a lot more to come, as I said, be it vlogs, be it more reaction videos, be it more live streams. I only need a longer visa here in Thailand, so I don't have to leave right away. And then we're going to hook up a lot of great things to come, God willing. Alright guys, but this is it for today. Thank you so much, really, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for the fantastic support in today's stream. And we have one more super chat. I'm going to read that one out first. Sorry. Javid, I understand the controversy, but they are not performing abortions. It's donated. It's like a heart transplant from a dead guy. They didn't kill the guy, but the heart is compatible. Would you do it to save your kid's life? To save my kid's life, of course, I would do anything, obviously. That's just how it is. But at the same time, it's donated, yeah, but it's somebody did the abortion, right? One of the big no-goes for me was about this jab thing, right? I wouldn't have... I'm jabbed. But the issue with the jab thing was the fetal cells, right? I talked about this on end. I was so against the fetal cells in that jab. And therefore, yeah, when it comes down to stem cells and there is fetal cells again, nah, thanks, man. I really just don't want any part in that. But to save my kid's life, yeah, dude, I would do anything, obviously. Again, Javid says, I'm pro-life as well. I'm not sure this is a contradiction, though, to be continued. Hey, again, up to you, brother. I totally understand. As I said, I totally get it. And if a friend would ask me and he would come to me in pain and he would say, man, I want to do this, no hard feelings, right? I totally get it. But for me personally, I just can't. That's it. I would have to be in enormous suffering, then maybe. But at the moment, yeah, I have my injuries like anybody else that has been doing bodybuilding since 16 years old, I guess. And that's about it. So for me personally, thanks, but no thanks. Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Now I'm re-wrapping it up. I really appreciate it. Yet again, phenomenal support tonight. Phenomenal support and absolutely beautiful to see all of you guys here. As always, I'm trying to respond to many chats, but it is basically impossible. This is why I always say the support through Super Chat and Streamlabs will always have priority. This is how it works. And I appreciate, of course, the support from David, especially here. I think the jab has fetal tissue, not cells. Not sure. Yeah, fetal tissue it was, I believe. Yeah, you're right. Right, but David, thank you very much, man. I know we can go on here for hours and hours on end. I have to return to wifey here. Really appreciate it one more time, guys. Looking forward to the next one. I'm going to try to stream twice in the future. And stay tuned for many, many new updates to come to the channel. Alright, but this is it for today. Again, if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up as well. Share the stream, share the channel, share the videos. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, all of those things. And support further in the description box. We have links for you, etc, etc. Alright, enough for today, man. I'm just happy to be back. I'm so happy to see everybody here. I'm tuning out now. As always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.